Hello coders, good afternoon. I am super tired today. Whoa. We're not going to do the code review of the PHP OOP quiz today because, well, to be fair, not many people have actually submitted anything. So we're going to wait for a week to do that again. It's the way it goes. It's all good. There's a lot of stuff that we can do today. I need to work on some of the bugs in the How to Code Well site. But this is super loud. Let's bring that down. Woo, that was really loud. But I really need to, I need to fix some issues with the things I was trying to fix last week, but I just haven't had an opportunity to do it. Let's just jump into the code, and I'll discuss what I'm jabbering on about. So if we go over to Chrome here, the window isn't open. Ugh, great. GitHub, and let's go to the HTC organization. Go to the website. You can tell I'm all prepared today. I'm just so tired because yesterday I spent all day gardening and cleaning the gutters and all sorts of other general things, and I'm feeling just a little bit tired and sleepy. So nothing too serious today. I hope. These issues that we need to fix are these three. These are the three issues that I tried to fix Tuesday, but never really finished it. So testing, there's an error on the user manager test when the emails save and flush. That's not spelled very well, but yeah. Error on account on the dashboard after logging in with GitHub. And then I think these two are related. So user who logs in without an email must create an email. We're going to attack these three very fresh. Just going to start it again, really. Once we've got those three done, if we get those three done, I should say, then we're going to finish off the course enrollments. There is just two tasks here. Session redirection, store the current page in the session and redirect the course to the course page after login. It's the same deal. In fact, let me just edit this and get rid of that one. Update. So yeah, once those bugs are done, we're gonna finish this one off, and then hopefully that'll be 4 issues down. Yeah. Hey, Miss DB3303, thank you for joining today. So a little bit of PHP, a little bit of session stuff as well later on, hopefully, and these bugs. So let's have a look at these bugs. Let's look at this one first. So test error E. User, I think I copied this from the error report, but I obviously copied it badly. So here we go. Make test coverage. User manager test, email, save and flush. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah. Sorry. I think I'm going to tackle this one second because I think I know what that is. Oh, that's difficult. Let's do an easy one first, shall we? Let's do this one. So error on account dashboard. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. God. Error on account dashboard after logging in with GitHub. So this is because the user hasn't got an email address. So I had some questions here, or a question. Should a new GitHub user need to choose the subscription plan before logging in? I had two options. One, where the user creates a free account via GitHub. And then 2 is user selects from picking a page from the pricing page, the account type, and then logs in. I decided to go with option 1. So by default, the user should have a free account. So assign a new GitHub user accounts a free subscription plan, and then put user manager and GitHub manager in the same service and inject the Git. Okay, right. Yeah. So I think this is fixed. I just need to test it. So let's go ahead and have a look. What I need to do is start up the Docker machine. So, whoops. Machine. Thank you. There we go. Also, one thing I do need to do is there is a pull request that I need to approve. Bear with me a second. This one here. It's passed the checks, so we should have now a stable GitHub pipeline. So if we go over to the actions here, that should be. There we go. So this is one I did sort of like just after the stream, just before the stream. So that's all gone through. So we can now merge this in to the dev rebuild branch. That's fine. Let's merge that through. Confirm the merge and delete that branch. Sweet. Okay. So now we need to get into the code. Git status, let's just make sure that should all be good. Let's go git checkout. Develop rebuild. Let's do a git pull, bring down the latest changes. Boom. Lots of Ansible stuff. Yeah, lots of Ansible stuff, and we've also got a test going in there too. Okay, no problemo. So I think what I'm going to do straight off the bat here is we go git branches or git branch. The branch that I was on just a minute ago was this one. Let me just double check some code. This is the problem when you work on something on two machines. Okay, let's have a look. The change that I did is in security. It's in here. Ahaha. Yes, subscription find by. Get users. Users don't exist. Okay, no. I think I need to do. Yeah, I think I do need to get into this branch. Okay, give me a second. Git checkout, because that was where we were before. Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, let's have a look. Have I changed the code? No. That's very weird. There's nothing to commit or... I thought I had changed this already. Unless... No, we do have the subscription manager. It's just this thing. This thing is worrying me a little bit. Object provided. Okay, I need to... Okay, right. Never mind. Let's continue working from this. So let's do merge, because this is an untracked branch. So let's do git merge develop rebuild into here. Cool. Okay, let's work through this. So the problem, this is PHP Stan is going to hate this, because this is returning a well, it's returning a subscription plan, but in the eyes of Doctrine, it's returning an object. We need to have an actual subscription plan. Let me just quickly run some tests a minute. Just to make sure everything's lined up. Oh. Eval. There we go. Nope. Helps if I can spell tests. There we go. I just want to run this quickly and just see if there's any issues. That's good. I think Stan will throw an error. No? Why did Stan... I would have expected Stan to throw an error here. because that requires a subscription plan. And that's weird. And that's returning an object, find by one. Returning null or an object. Interesting. Okay, well, if it doesn't throw an error, it doesn't throw an error. That's odd. Fair enough. I don't know. I probably don't have the Selenium running, right? Let's have a look. Oh. No. Selenium test is down. Right, let's boot that back up before. There we go. Quickly before it hits that. Selenium's back up. Cool. Okay, so this is doing what? The integration tests. Okay. And we've passed all the unit tests. That's good. All right. Okay, so this was the fix. We were passing in a subscription plan of free into here. That's the fix. So let's boot up the site. Do. I probably need to dive in and out of the database as well, doing this. Come on, you know you want to load this, although this is probably a bit staff doing whilst the database is being rebuilt every 5 seconds. Yeah. I'm getting impatient now. Okay, come on. Gotta wait for these tests to pass because they're rebuilding the database each time. Because, you know, these are integration tests. And obviously the acceptance tests. Ugh. Let's just run that. It's a good idea to keep running these, I suppose. Okay, in the meantime, I can start up another container. Well, no, I can boot into the database container because the database container doesn't get dropped. It just gets the database just gets recreated. So I can do I should really have this in a make file, to be fair. Docker compose ex composer exec it app test bash. There we go. No, it's not bash. It's not test. It's db. It's MySQL minus u root minus p. Is that going to work? No. It's not going to work because of IT. Yeah. There's no I. I think it should just be okay like that, right? Nope. Okay. Because I'm doing it through Composer, I need to do the service name. There we go. Get it right. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm in. So the data in here is being recreated every time these tests run, which is fine. There's 32 of them. They take time because these are actually tests that these are acceptance tests. So they're Selenium jobbies, so they do take time. But what I'm after is this. This one. I think that should be no. Okay, so that is that should be some test data, I think. We go into because I want to get it to the point where I can just log in. I can create an account from scratch. So it would be in here and it would be in there, and we would probably have Here we go. So we've got this test account, which is the GitHub user, and that's the username there. So to test this, I think I'm going to have to delete this, because I would imagine. So this is all obviously just test data. As I mentioned, it gets flushed every time these tests run. But select all from, and it was. I swear we've got that table. Oh, user profile. Darn it. Here's the user. Here's the dummy user. So what I need to do, and there's no email address. I could use this one, I suppose. Because the error report was error on account after logging in with GitHub. This is happening due to no subscription. Oh, right. Hang on a minute. I am thinking of two different bugs here. I'm thinking of two different bugs here. So does this has a profile email, but doesn't have a GitHub email. Okay, right. I see. Do I have a test account without an email address? Because that would... There we go. Right, this dude. No email. I've done this before, I think. Okay. Right. So the error is error on account dashboard after logging in with GitHub. This is happening due to no subscription plan being assigned to the new GitHub user. Right. Okay, so this is subscription plan. This isn't email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this user out of the database. I'm then going to log in again, but this time using the proper GitHub mechanism. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So let me see. Do I have a way of deleting a user account? I'll just grab this and put this in another window. Bear with me a second, because I'm logging into the CMS, obviously locally. Of course, I can't do any logins until all of these tests have cleared, but whatever. Here we go. I have a way of disabling users, I think. Come on. The speed. The speed. So it is... Which one is this? This one. So if I was to get into here and change Why do I not see that account? Huh? Right. I have to do it by ID. Right. Okay. So it's 007. It ends with 54. Aha, gotcha. Okay. I need to wait until the I need to wait until these tests are ran, otherwise the database will be recreated and hopefully there's not so many more. Come on. It's not that one. So I need to access. I'm waiting on an Amazon delivery at the moment. So and my wife has popped out. So I may have to run off and answer the door. But it's an exciting package. It's a I've just tried to click onto the account, and whilst the database is being recreated in between one of these steps, and it's just gone, nope. You're getting impatient. Come on, I just want to know if I've broken anything after those merges. Yeah, it's an exciting delivery. I'm getting my very first mechanical keyboard. I'm very excited. I just want to double check something in the code. In the controllers, in CMS, aha, found it. Delete user, woo. Oh, good. Right, I just need to wait. Yeah, my first ever mechanical keyboard should be arriving today. And I also went out and bought some keycaps, some colors, some colored keycaps. So yeah, I'm super excited to get that all set up. Never had a mechanical keyboard. I've always had these squishy Mac keyboards. So and squishy Logitech Mac keyboards. So this will be quite exciting. There's an unwritten rule. Yeah, there's an unwritten rule that if you're waiting for a parcel, then there'll be a lot more traffic in your street to fall. Yeah, right. Yeah, tell me about that, right? So last night we had a takeaway. We had a takeaway from our favorite Indian takeaway place. It was an hour and I think 15 minutes late. But it still tasted great. Yeah. I had I quite like spicy food, so I had something called Jom Som. It's a chef special from the place we get the Indian from. But my word, it was the spiciest one I've ever had. And I had a bit of regret. Let's just say that. I think I might scale down the spiciness on the next one. It was just so... I woke up with like very bitter taste in my mouth. Murphy loves the poppadoms. Poppadoms and prawn crackers. Yeah, so we give him a little bit. You know, we don't give him a poppadom or, you know, a big load of prawn crackers, but we'll give him like a little bit. Okay, this looks like it's all passed. There obviously 2 were skipped, but that's fine. I know about those. Great. So now I can delete the user. Bye-bye. He says, whilst trying to click on the relevant buttons. Okay, so hopefully, fingers crossed, if I was to... Oh no, hang on a minute. Whoa. Hang on. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see. Select GitHub user ID from user, all nulls. Okay, cool. So that has been disconnected. That's great. I will have to write a bug in here though, because that didn't actually delete the record for... Let me put that in before we do anything else. So this is CMS. Deleting a user does not remove the GitHub user record. So it's a code issue. And what was the thing I was playing with? It was that. Delete a user from or via the CMS, and then run. Notice the user has been removed from the users table, but the record still remains in the... In fact, I think what I'm going to do is quickly fix this first, because I think this is a bigger issue. Let's yeah, I'm going to just dabble with this one first. We'll combine the two things. It is in yeah, give me a second whilst I do that. Do. GitHub user. Oh, I see what I've done. Okay, no, it is okay. I think it's just the fact that GitHub user is a new git then customer. Oh, we've removed the customer. Customer is the user, and we've set that to blank. Gotcha. Okay, no, that is good. It's a soft delete. So if GitHub user then remove, why is that? From user where GitHub user ID is equal to. So so the user has been removed. I think I need to remove I see what I need to do. I need to remove that first, and then I need to remove. Okay, let me try that. Okay, give me a second whilst I deal with all of this. Let's get back to the Codemo. Let's do a make DB test rebuild just to get the rebuild stuff, the old test data back in play. Okay, cool. So if we were to use that one, is that the same as the one I've just done? No, it's not. That's weird. Okay, what's going on here? Give me a second whilst I have a little dig about. Select. That's what I want. Gotcha. Okay, that's 6.3. Oh, I'm looking at profile. What a moron. I'm looking at the profile. Sorry, this is me all over, isn't it? This is how today's stream's going to be. I was looking at the wrong database. Sorry, the wrong table. Yeah, idiot. So it... Okay, so that was removed. That's fine. It's the profile that needs to go. Gotcha. Okay. Lol. Lol. Okay, so there's that. And we also need to do remove that, and we also need to do that. Okay, let me just see now. No, that's fine. You can see that's fine. It's okay. Okay, just clear that down. And then let's... So. Hello. Right, let's select all from... Yeah, no, that's good. And then what I need to do... So the original query, was the profile. We've also got the user. That was the wrong database. That was the wrong table. I should have looked at that one. So we got that one, and we've also got that one. Okay, cool. So what we need to do is refresh the CMS. We should have to log in again. Once that's in, we should be able to... Come on. Number 7, there we go. We need to delete that user. So I'm just doing this off screen a minute. Oh yeah, and the keys for the keyboard. Let's delete that now. And accept, there we go. Ah, rats. That failed. Am I doing this in the wrong order? I am. Darn it. Ah, yeah, I'm deleting that and then I'm deleting that. Yeah, no. I need to delete the profile, then the URLs, then the user. There we go. That's that way around. Jesus. Okay. My head's not in the game today. Right, I'm going to have to rebuild the DB again. Yeah, so the keys for the keyboard. I bought grey keys, which kind of look like the How to Code Well background, and pink keys, which kind of look like the How to Code Well pink links. So I've tried to customize it as much as possible. All right, so the DB is being recreated. So now I can try and recreate and delete this user again for like. I'm gonna have to. Well, I've been signed out because the database has been rebuilt. Oh dear. Let me sign back in. There we go. Yeah. So hopefully it'll look quite good. I kind of went for. I can't actually show you because the site's down. I'll show you in a minute what kind of colors I went for. And I went for Gateron 8s, browns. Sorry, Gateron brown switches. Okay, so now I'm logged back in. Let's see if I can find this user. 4, 3. Seriously, I've just 2, 3, 4. That's very strange. It's empty. Why is it empty? Let me do this again. Shouldn't be empty. Yay! Okay. Right, let's log back in again. Okay, do I see the user? I do see the user. Let's click on this button here and get rid of the user. So we should, after this is run, accept, good. Okay, that went through. So now if we did this, that should be empty. If we did this, that should be empty. And if we did select all from user, where GitHub user ID is not null, that should be empty. Sweet. Okay, they're all good. That's good. I'm glad. Finally, right, I've solved that one. Okay, so back to where we were before. Now I've got a nice clean database. There's no users that are associated to GitHub anymore. I'm just logging back into the front end here. Okay, so this is the front end. So yeah, I kind of went for a gray that looks a little bit like this color. Sorry, no, this color. And I went for a pink that looked a little bit like that pink up there. So this one, or these pinks. So it should look a little bit like this. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to just commit that file. Bear with me a second whilst I do this. Fixing delete. Come on. Yep. Commit. Good. Okay, let's get rid of that file. There we go. Right. Let's get rid of that too. Okay. Right. So back to where we were before. So I've got the test database running, obviously, and I've removed this record from the database, meaning that I should be able to now log in via GitHub. And in doing so, I am testing this issue here. So error on account after dashboard. So error on account after logging in with GitHub. Okay. So this is happening because there's no subscription plan being assigned to the new GitHub user. I had a little bit of a debate with myself and then decided that when you log in as GitHub, you should log in as a free account. So just because at the moment we don't have any other account type, so it makes sense. So what I'm going to do is just check this code for a second. So it was in here. The fix I put in was the subscription plan, setting the internal to free, and then when we go down to create the user. So I've already added the fix, so this is just testing that. So yeah, fingers crossed, this should just run through. That's the old one. Hang on a minute. Where did that go? Oh, I was running it in a different window. Okay, sorry. So let's get back into how to code well. Yeah, I was running that in a different window. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that one. There we go. Okay, so when we hit login, the idea is that when we log in with continue with GitHub, we should be able to continue on with GitHub, and we should be able to see that our subscription plan is set to free. So if we hit that, we're signed in already with GitHub. We're signed in as my PFWD user, so we should be able to redirect back to the to here. And okay, that's an issue, but we'll play with that later, I think. So having an error message and a success message, I think that needs to go above. But anyway, this is going past the problem. We don't get an error now. So here was error on account dashboard after logging in with GitHub. So if we go to the dashboard, we should hopefully, fingers crossed, see that our subscription plan is set to free. Oh, I need to put I need to put an email. Okay, so this error, this email, is to do with the other issue. So maybe, yeah, I'm going backwards and forwards here. Sorry. This issue with jumping across to different things. So if I went to courses, that should flag it back to email. So I clicked on courses there. It should redirect me back to this page. Right. So I need to put in my email address before I actually do anything. Which is actually this other error here. So if we go to the website, if we go to issues, it is this one, error. Users who log in without an email must create an email. So it's this issue first. So let's create an email account for this dude. I think we can fix both. We're verifying both of these things at the same time. So let's do this as test GitHub at testing.howtocodewell.net. Let's hit save. Sweet. Okay, so that's been saved. So I should be able to go to courses. Good. And the error that we were looking at before was dashboard. In fact, what I'll do, just to be methodical here, that's fixed. And the other issue that we're looking at now is this one. So test error, user manager, save and flow. Oh no, it's not that one. Sorry, it's this one. So we are now logging in. Sorry, we're going to the dashboard, and the fix was setting it to free. So we should see no errors on this page now, and we should see free account. Sweet. So that's done. Okay, that's good. Whoops. Okay, so mark that as fixed. Great. Good. So the next one is this one. Email, save, and flush. Now, this one here is to do with test coverage, and it's to do with the user manager test. Test, edit, email, save, and flush. We've ran all of our tests, and they all passed. However, we weren't running them with test coverage. So let's run that. What I should really do is do a git. That's good. Let's do a git push. Okay, cool. Okay, let's do a quick check on this whilst the pipeline does its thing. So, do I need to instigate a pull request on that? Yeah, I do. This needs to go to this branch. And groovy. Okay. Click on the actions here. Create a pull request. And we'll wait for these checks to run. It'll just run the actions again. That's fine. I'm happy with that. That's okay. Let's get on to the git checkout of the develop rebuild branch. Whoops. Sorry. Sweet. And this error was running this make test coverage. What? No. There we go. Cool. So fingers crossed we can, this one is okay. C in repository. It's an integrate. All those pass. It's an integration test. And what was it testing? It was the user manager. Let's just see if we can jump into that and just see. Line 62. Right, so there's an error here for some reason. Aha, gotcha. I've gotcha. It's weird though that the tests passed without code coverage. That's weird. Yeah, let's kill this. Let's run this. It's in integration. Let's just run the integrations for a minute without coverage. Why would that have a problem? So the error that we're reporting here is test edit email and save and flush, which is this one. Call to undefined method unit tester C in repository. Tester C in repository. Are we using this anywhere else? No. Okay. Suspicious. Let's see if we are using that anywhere in here. If we go to integration. Find in files. I'm sure we are. Yes. No. Only in here. That's so weird. Okay. Hey, Scav and Dan. Thank you for joining today. Hope you're doing well. So what was that error that we had? It was the user manager test. Yeah. And then profiler, register. Hey? That's so weird. So they've all passed. 112 have passed. User manager test. That's passed. There is a green tick there. That has definitely passed. And yet when we run it with code coverage, it fails. Well, that's strange. I really hate it when there's like this is obviously configuration, right? Because it works. It works without coverage, and it doesn't work with coverage. So there's a configuration issue here. I hate configuration issues because they just slow you down. Okay, let's have a look at the configuration of the integration suite. So the integration suite, in the coverage, remote enabled include SRC, and we're excluding all of this stuff from the coverage, and then we enable it. We tell it to use the DB. We have Doctrine 2. Now the error is that we can't, it's undefined method, it's undefined. So it's not that, so weird. So weird, this is baffling. And I can actually see it here. So tester is unit tester, C in repository. We have that. All right. Let's see. It's a codeception job. C in repository. It's a Doctrine 2 thing. Yep. And we have Doctrine 2 set up in here, right? Yeah. Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't be able to use this. So, and it fails on coverage. Is it because I've got remote enabled? Might be. Anything to do with coverage in this page? Apart from that. Coverage is enabled. Include, exclude. Deal with the limits. Show uncovered. Show only summary. That's how I'm running it. Remote code coverage on the local server. What if I was to set this to false? I just want to play. Let's just set this to false and then run this with code coverage. Can I just run the integration tests with coverage? I tell you what, let's do a nice control. So let's do test integration coverage. There we go. So that's the command I'm giving it. We'll let this one run through, and then what we'll do is we'll isolate that. If it's still failing, we'll isolate it, and then run that again. Make sure that's still failing, and then we'll change the remote to false. Let's have a little look at this remote server. Working directory, remote context options. It's just a bit weird. Hang on a minute. That's now passed. So okay, I've done no code change and that's passed. Have I done any code change? No, that's green. Git status. Nothing. So I'm now very confused. So the only the only difference there is that we ran the integration tests with coverage, but we didn't run all the tests with coverage. Let's do a make test coverage again. So this is doing both the unit and the integration tests. So the only difference between this run and the run before was this was just doing integration. So that was what we just did and it all passed. And this now is doing a unit and an integration. So 285 unit tests, and they have all, well, they're still going. Come on. So they've all passed. Right, now we get to the integration tests, and one of them fails. Could this just be one of those ghost in the shell blips? I don't know. It's definitely configuration. It must be. It's something with code. There we go. It's failed. It's failed. So this is the only test that runs C in repository. I'm wondering if I need to do the integration. No. I was going to say do the integration stuff first, but no, I don't think that's... Well, I suppose I could play with that, I suppose. So if I was to run this suite on its own, so just do the integration test, it passes. If I was to do this with the unit tests, it fails. And it fails because it says it's an undefined method. Now, if I remember rightly, the way Codeception deals with its testers is they get recreated. Wait. The integration tester and the unit tester are the same thing, aren't they? If we go to integration here, the actor is unit tester of integration, and the actor of the unit suite is the unit tester. So what I suspect is happening, and the code in these get rebuilt by Codeception automatically in support. So in support in I think it's these unit tester. Yes, they extend the actors, and there's also, here we go, unit tester actions. These are the things that get rebuilt. And one of the actions, the action that I'm using is this. See in repository. Tester here is unit tester. So yes, I think I've sussed this out. Put my Sherlock Holmes hat on, and I think I've sorted this. So the problem is, I bet if I was to run integration first and then units, it will work, because what it's doing is it's rebuilding it will rebuild this for the integration, and then it will run. So yeah, what's happening, I think, is if I scroll up to the top here, come on, there we go. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm running Codeception, run the unit suite and the integration suite, one after the other. Now the unit suite gets rebuilt, the tester for the unit gets rebuilt for the unit, and because it's just for unit tests, it's got nothing to do with the database. So that gets rebuilt, and then the integration suite runs, and the integration suite uses the unit tester, and because it knows that it's already been created, it doesn't rebuild it. That's my hunch. I think the testers only get rebuilt once for each one of these commands, so that knows that it's using this, and therefore it won't get rebuilt. My hunch is that if I run this first, it will work, because the units don't rely on the integration. I'm going to just test that theory out. So we go to Makefile here, and it is, see all my deployment stuff. It is the make unit, make test unit coverage, test integration, make clean, make test coverage. Here we go. If I was to put this there, and then run them all again. I don't really want to call it cache. So Codeception builds these things on each run of the suites, and I'm thinking that because this suite relied on that suite, but that suite didn't have the stuff for this suite in. So we should hope, in theory, in here, we should now see in repository. Yes, there we go. So yes, that's now been added. Okay, so obviously this isn't a great thing to do. So in theory, I reckon this will pass now. User manager, yes, it has passed. Yes, so I was right. Now I don't want to do this. I want to do the unit tests first and then the integration tests, because the unit tests run quicker, and so I'll get a quicker feedback loop if anything was to fail. So what I'm going to do is I think I need to create a new tester. I think specifically for integration, which extends unit tester and is allowed to have the C in repository stuff. I think what I'm going to do, I'll let this do its thing. I'm going to grab a cup of tea and then I'll come back. I think there is a way to do this. So code, exception, integration tester, actor. Reusing test code, get started advanced, modules and helpers, commands. I'm sure there was a way of creating my own actor. I think it's a case of just putting an actor down in here. Hello, what's that? Maybe I could just reuse this one. Use generated user tester actions. Integration actions. Maybe I do something here. Maybe I use that trait in here, and then that will rebuild. That will create a new file in here. I think I know what this is. I think, but I need the power of T in order to solve this problem. So I'm gonna shoot downstairs, grab a cup of tea, and I'll be back in a few minutes. See you in a mo. Hey, I pressed the wrong button. I meant to press this button. There we go. I got my cup of tea. Okay. So my theory, excuse me, is that because we're using the unit tester and not the integration tester, yeah, that's it, isn't it? Here, I'm thinking maybe we should change that to be integration. Just make sure I get the spelling right. Do not trust myself with the spelling of integration. There we go. Now I'm also thinking this is going to fail because I don't have the unit tester stuff. So I'm going to just run. Oh, I need to flip I need to flip this around, don't I? Put it back to what it was. There we go. Right, let's run this again. We'll have to run through all the unit tests again, but that shouldn't take any time. Okay, so now we get to the integration. Okay, they're failing, and I think I know why they're failing. We're now using the integration tester here, and this is using integration tester actions. What we also need to use is unit tester actions. So in here, like that. Is that why is that red? What's going on there? Oh, hang on. It's trying to read that and do all sorts of things. Come on, give me my prompt. Thank you. Can't work out why that's gone red. Let me just run that again. That should be okay, I think. As long as these traits don't have any conflicting method names, we should be good, right? I don't know why that's red. Trait method except has not been applied because there is collision. Here we go, collisions with another. That's so frustrating. Damn it. Damn. That sucks. Okay, what if we just used the unit tester ones? No. Okay, we'll wait until they go through so then I can actually work out what the error is. Sorry, I will adjust that. Bear with me a sec. Hope that sounds better. It was a bit like hold music, wasn't it? That annoying hold music which just makes you want to be even more angry at the person on the other end of the phone when they actually pick up. Okay, must be an instance of. Oh. Okay, type property, blah 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 blah. Register tester must be an instance of unit tester, but integrate. Okay, gotcha. I think I know why this is being silly. We need to go to. We need to change this to be integration. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be painful. I suppose what I could do replacing files. That with that. Yeah, let's give that a go. Yep. So all of these files should have changed now. Right, let's give that a go. Let's change up the tunes. Let's do some synthwave. Turn it down a wee bit. There we go. I feel like now I'm in some sort of 80s discotheque. Okay, so this is all working now, and are we getting to the unit bits? The user manager is coming up soon. Ah, no, it's still failing. Still failing. So my little trick didn't work. My trick was to use the integration tester whilst using the unit tester actions in the hope that we would have a C in repository in here. C. Oh, no, wait, we do have it. So, okay, maybe this is another issue. Who knows? We'll wait until that goes through. Unfortunately, this is that type of bug where you just have to run through them all. What do I need? Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to run through them all because there was that order thing. Okay, so that is still the problem. C in repository. It's on app tests integration tester. So let's just get into the actual class where we've got the problem, which is here, and it's this one. Okay, the tester is integration tester. Oh no, hang on a minute. Generated. Ah. Yes, because I'm using the unit tester actions, I'm not using that one anymore. So that's gonna. Okay. Rats. let me see. Can we do... Right, what was the error here? Excuse me. I'm sure this threw an error. No? Okay, so the big change that I did was to use integration tester, which obviously uses its own actions. So I needed to change all of this and change that to be integration. And we have passed that issue. Okay. So I'm going to create a I'm going to create a branch for this. Once it all finishes. Come on. Good stuff. Okay. So yeah, the fix was to use integration tester rather than unit tester, which kind of makes sense, right? Okay. All of those have changed. Let's put this all in a branch. -b. Okay. Okay, let's push this up. Let the pipeline take care of you. Code coverage. Thank you. So that one was the one that we just did before this issue. This was the profile fix. It's the pipeline's gone through and passed, so I'll merge that in. And the one that we've just done is the code coverage job. So I'll create a pull request for this one. And we'll change it to be develop rebuild. And we should see that we've just changed that to be integration tester. And then all of these files we would have changed to be integration tester. Yeah, groovy. So with this in mind, we'll wait for the pipeline to do its thing. So that would have kicked off. Oh right, so Okay, so it's doing the merge of develop into here. How are we doing with that? So this is running Composer in dev mode. To then run Codeception run unit. I mean, we were playing with integration tests. I don't have integration tests running off of this pipeline, so, you know. Anyway, this is the merge. This is the one we were doing before. Now it's doing a build and pull, and that will push the... Sorry, build and push. This will push the Docker image to the Docker Hub. It was that one, right? Yeah, okay, so this one is doing the unit tests now. Okay, that looks good. Now it should be doing the build and push. Okay, cool. So they're going through. I'm going to mark this one as fixed. I should have really linked it to the PR, but whatever. Fixed. Only me working on this project, so I'm okay with cutting corners on some things to do with the process. Okay, so that's that done, and we've solved those three issues. So I'm pretty happy with that. Whilst the pipeline is working through its thing, we're going to take a look at the course enrollments now. So this is a feature. Excuse me, a feature. Store current course page in a session and redirect to the course page after logging in. So the idea with this one. Silence. So the idea with this one is I haven't heard all of this playlist all the way through. Let's log out. Need to fix that. That's looking bad, isn't it? Right. So the idea here is a set. So I'm logged out. I want to say, oh, you know, I want to learn Docker. So I click on Docker. I go here, and there should be something in the session to say, this was my last path. So then when I click on watch course, click on free. It's not really a good user journey, that. Let's log in. The idea is that once I've logged in, it should redirect me not to my account, but it should redirect me to the course that I was just on. Let's log out. So what I need to do, I'm going to start this time with git checkout rebuild branch. Let's do a git pull. Bring anything down that's already pipelines brought down. Okay, just that. Fine. Git checkout -b. This is a feature. This is a session redirect. All right. I suppose we could create an acceptance test for this, because with the acceptance tests you can deal with sessions with Selenium. So I suppose what we could do is create our own little feature. Let's do just having a look. Course logged out feature, course logged in feature. So I log in with blah blah blah. I go to there, and because it knows that I'm logged in, it doesn't show me that. Okay, it's kind of like that, but the other way around. Let's create a new thing in here. Course session, let's call it. User is redirected to course after logging. After login. When a no. No. The course URL is stored in the user session when and after login, the user is redirected to that stored URL. Okay, so scenario, I visit course page before logging in. After login, I am redirected to course, back to course page. All right, let's get rid of that for a minute. So we get to let's use that one for example. So when I go to here, then I log in. When I go to here, then I log in, and I see. What have I got in here? I should be redirected to. Gotcha. Here we go. So I go to here. Actually, here we go. Let's start it from the top. So given I am logged out, when I go to here, then I go to, then I log in. Then I should be then here we go. Then I should be redirected to, let's get rid of that, back to here. There we go. So given I am logged out, when I go to that URL, then I log in to the front end with this user account, and we can do another one. Let's do another one. Let's, wherever the data fixtures are, where are they? Here, user fixtures. Let's use free test one, not the test DB, jobby test admin account. There we go, because we want to go in as an actual user. There we go. And I think it's all test 1, 2, 3, 4 as the, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, so given I am logged out, when I go to here, then I log in to the front end with this and that as the password, then I should be redirected to, and then that page. So that page is the same as that page. Yeah. Okay. Now this is going to fail, right? Because this would just take me back to the account page because I've logged in. So let's see if I can run this. Let's do a make test acceptance feature, passing in the feature that we want to test, because I'm not going to test all of them just for this. This is a course session feature. Feature. All right, so this should fail. I'll be very surprised if it didn't. So user is redirected to the course after logging in. So I visit course page before logging in. After login, I am redirected back to the course page. Well, it's thinking about it. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. That's what I thought. So I should be redirected to course Linux Bash for beginners, but I'm actually at account. Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, it's Gherkin. It's Gherkin. That's the language anyway. And I'm running Selenium in a Docker container. And I should see, because of that failing test, I should see in output, we should have, there we go. So that's where I landed. And really what I wanted to do is go back to that page. So, okay, so how do we solve this? So what happens is we need to store on the course page a URL. So if we go to front end, we go to, when we land on the course controller, sorry. So here we need to store something in the user's session, and then on the authentication we need to pull that out. So that does a check. Oh yeah, okay, so that checks if there is an actual course with that slug, and if it isn't, then we redirect to the index page. Okay, that's fine. It's request, isn't it? Get session. Set. So it's something like, I don't know, last. I don't know whether I should do it generic, so last URL, or I should just go last course URL. Let's do that, keep it safe. And then the URL would be like bloody 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 blah, whatever it is. Okay, so to get that, we do request. Just having a look at all of these things. Get URI. So returning a string. Generates a normalized URL for the request. Sounds like the thing that we need. So like that. Let's because I'm going to need to grab this in various places. No, actually, let's just keep going down this road. What's next? It's the authentication jobby in security. In this one, and it is somewhere on success. So here we check for the email. Here we get the session. If get session interface, get target path. Oh, hang on. This get target path. Target path takes in a session. Okay. And the firewall. I see. So that's an inbuilt method. Target path. Get target path. This get target path. Where's that coming from? Hang on a minute. I'm just trying to get this right in my head. This get target path is coming from target path. Oh, it's a trait. I see. It's a trait. Okay. So really we want something in between this, don't we? It's a shame that I can't sort of deal with that damn trait. Plus it needs to provide a key. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't hack on that. So, okay. We need to do something like... Well, we're already checking whether the session is a session. Get session, provide a key. Get session, security, firewall name, dot target path. So I guess I could... I wonder therefore if it's a case of just setting that. Get, that's the name of it. Save target path. Oh, hang on. And that's the URI. URI. Okay, maybe it's easier than that then. Maybe it's instead of doing this, maybe I need to use the target path trait and then save the target path, passing in a firewall name, which is main, I think, and then the URI, and then that should all hook together. There's no need to change this. Okay, let's give that a whirl. So what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to use the trait. Are you Sorry. I'm not a massive fan of traits, to be fair. I have to say. It's like, yeah, I'm not a massive fan of traits. This is where I prefer Python because of the multi-inheritance of Python. You can't really do that in PHP. Whereas traits are a way to get around that. But they can muddy the waters a bit. Yeah, so my ideal solution would be to override this trait. Because I don't want it to be called that. Because now I've got to work out what the firewall name is. I would much prefer it to be called that. But anyway. Plus we're using a framework trait. So when you do that, you've got to appreciate the fact that you don't have control over that trait. It could change in an update. Which is why I need to make sure I've got this test sound. Yeah. Okay, so this target save target path, we have to pass in the session, which is request get session, and we need to pass in the firewall name, which I think is main. I can find that out in a minute, and then the URI, which is request get URI. Whoops. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It doesn't say what it's doing. Save target path. What does that mean when you're in the context of a... No. No. Nope. Sorry. Not happening. Not in my code. Nope. I mean, I know it'll work, but it just... Save target path? No. I want... If I was to do this in a method, I wouldn't call it target path. I would call it save last URL or something. Save course URL or something like that. I'm torn now because I know this will work. I suppose I should get it to work and then I should make a decision as to... Yeah, alright. I'll try. I'll cool my jets, not get too hot-headed, and get it actually working, and then I'll make a decision as to this. It doesn't read well. This is in the course index, and save target path doesn't. When I read that, it doesn't relate to anything to do with the login stuff and the last URL. I don't know. Maybe it does. Also, this whole firewall thing. Don't need that. In my opinion, that should be a default parameter. I see why they've done it. Okay, anyway, enough of that ridiculousness. Let's actually see it work, shall we? So we pass that in. That's the get URI. Let's just make sure that is main. Let's go over to our config. Where would that be? That would be in security, I believe. In here, and it would be in firewalls. So we got dev, we got CMS. There we go. We got main. So yeah, it is main. Okay, so I'm going to do this manually, and then I'll get the test to see if it works. So the idea here is that we do, because then I can use this debug bar to see what's in the session. Let's click on you. The annotation root in class course controller was never ported. Did you forget to use a statement in the annotation? Okay. I'm confused. The annotation root. The annotation root is there. Okay. Which is being imported via roots annotation YAML. Make sure the annotations are installed and enabled. Well, they are. It's something to do with this, obviously. Let's comment that out for a second. No? Oh, hang on a minute. I've removed roots. Yeah, I have. Yeah, let's just pick that up from another class. Bear with me a second. I've removed root. It's because I thought it was I thought it wasn't being used because it was grayed out. Right. Sorry, let's go back to it. There we go. Okay, so hopefully once this loads, we should have the ability maybe to see the session. Hopefully. Security. Key configuration listeners, security voters. So that's voter stuff. Oh, I thought there was a way of... Aha. Request and response. I thought there was a way of digging into the session. Target path. There we go. How to code well.local course Docker for beginners. That is what we're after. Sweet. Okay. This is so handy. It's good. Oh, no, I clicked on the wrong button. Sorry. It's that one. Okay, so I've now gone to here and I'm logged out. So let's now log in. And log in with the free one. Log into account. That should now redirect me to that page. Not the account page. And I should be logged in. Yeah, there we go. So it works. It's just, yeah. So now I'm torn, because if it didn't work, then I would be like, okay, let's not do this. Let's do something else. Let's rebuild it ourselves. But now it works. It's like, oh, okay, it works. So we could move on. Trouble is, save target path. I just don't like the way it's. I would prefer that to be called save login redirect or something like that. Set login redirect. What's the compromise here? It works. The compromise would be to put in some comments. So this saves the login redirect path. This sets the current course URL to the login redirect path. I suppose Yeah, okay. I'm gonna swallow my... Yeah, I'm just gonna accept it. I think it works. Let's get the test up and running. Why do I have a feeling that that's going to bite me in the ass in like a year's time? When they changed the class name from target path to something else. I'm relying heavily on the framework there. That's one of my concerns. There we go, it's passed. I have a test to ensure that it works. So there's that. So there is that. Let's create an integration test. An acceptance test, in my opinion, isn't good enough. Just because the more acceptance tests I've got, the longer they're all going to take. So there'll be times where I won't run all the acceptance tests because of the time it would take to run them all. So let's create an integration test and check for that that thing. So okay, test on authentication success with course redirect. Okay, so we've got the request here, we've got the user, and we're setting the we need to, in order for this test to pass, we need the other things to pass too. So we need to have like something in here, test.test it at testing.howtocodewell.net. And we're going to use that URL that I put into the here. Okay, so we need to adjust this somehow with our target path. Yeah, so let's run this, it'll fail. Let's get into the container. Bin run code set. Bin code set run integration -g. So this will fail because the session hasn't been set. So we need to set the session. So we need to. Now there's a way of doing this, isn't there, in Symfony? We did request. Get session. Have a look at that. That's going to go session is an instance of, and it's going to fail. So we did this before, didn't we? On request, we can set the session, I'm sure. Or maybe not. Set session. And I think what we need to do is mock the session out. So let's do session is equal to, I think it's new session. I'm sure I read an article about doing Symfony sessions or mocking Symfony sessions. Testing with sessions, yeah. I've clicked on this before. Here we go, mock array session storage. Mock array session storage. And you do a new session. And you pass that in as the argument. There we go. And then you do session set. And the idea is that we're setting that the firewall name is main. With the URI of this. Now this needs to be HTTP how to code well .local. It doesn't have to be. It could be whatever. But okay, so we've set the session here. Oh no, we haven't. That needs to go in there. There we go. So we've mocked the session storage. We've instantiated a new session. We've instantiated a new request. We've set the session of the request to the session that we've just created, as well as having this target path. And the idea now is that we also do the other bits to ensure that the stuff above on the authenticator success. So up here, come here. Come on, I want to click on that. I can't. Why can't I click on that? Come on, PHP Storm, allow me to click on my file. Let's just get to it. This one. All right, so the idea is that we're running this and we want to check the response, the redirect response. And we want to get to this point. And we want to set the target path. So we need to ensure that we do have an email, otherwise we would get to this point. Right, let's give this a go. It failed. Why? If the request get session is an instance of session interface, it's kind of skipped this out and gone straight into here, which is the account index. That's weird. So get session. So either this isn't an interface of session interface, or the target path is null. Okay. So it is a session. It doesn't. It does implement session interface, so that's correct. This is our target path, and we are setting it to the request. User. Where are we putting the user in here? Right. We'll return get user. We're passing in the request here. Session, okay. Get session. Response get target URL. Set target URL. Okay, let's hack this up. So, okay, yeah, let's hack this up. So it's either gonna be an issue with this or this, because that's passed. Okay, let's create some debug. Let's do a var dump. Yeah. Get target path. Get target path is that. That's main. Then that's the target path, and we are setting it. Save target path. Session interface. Yeah, no, we are doing that. How strange. Okay, let's do some debug. So we'll do it in here first. We'll get the no, because we know that it's not actually in there, because otherwise it would have gone through. So it's something to do with this one, maybe? Is it because that's a mock session? I don't know. Get session. I'm just trying to read through this. Set session. Set session. Session is a new session. We have the mock storage. It might be something to do with that. Request. Request does go in. Okay, let's debug it above here. Nothing was output. Okay. Here we go. Security main target path. That's the file name. Oh, it's taking in the provider key. Ah, right. Provider key. Why are you doing that? Why are you passing in the provider key? Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? Oh, it's coming up from here. Okay, right, that's the firewall name, and I'm setting it to blank, right? In the test? Yes, I am. Oh, dear. That'll be why. I was looking at it like, this seems logically fine to me. I mean, there's nothing screaming out. I reckon that's the thing. Let's let's run it. Yeah. Ah, lol. Got there in the end. Just took a long time. Okay. Okay, so the change that we made was this here. We've got a integration test to ensure that that is correct. That's the main. Good. And we've got an acceptance test to check it. So I'm happy. I'm not happy that I'm using it, but I'm happier because I've got it checks to ensure that if it was to be changed in the future, I will know. Okay. All right. Let's come out of the container for a second. Let's just check our thinking. Let's do git diff. That should be the only change. This one here, using the target path in the course controller. That's good. And then I've created an acceptance test for that. And then we're using the mocks. This is the integration test. So we're using the session and the mock session storage. And we're setting all this stuff. That's good. All right. Have I called that method a good test on authentication success with course redirect? Yeah. All right. Git. We're going to do a make tests just to make sure. Make tests. I just want to run it all the way up to the unit tests, just to make sure that Stan's happy and the check style's happy and MD's happy and everything. That was annoying me. Yeah, that's good. I don't think there's any need to go any further than this, to be fair. Oh, maybe. I haven't changed anything to do with the database schema. Why is it complaining that the database schema is not in sync with the mapping file? Make DB rebuild test. Oops. I'm looking for the migration stuff. It's in... Here it is. Available migrations 1. Executed migrations 1. Already at the latest version. Okay, so let's do a diff. Apparently there was one. That's weird. What could that be? I've recently rolled all these up, so migrations A? Alter table course constant. We're using add constraints. Why? Did the constraints not get added on this one? Doesn't look like it. Come on. Get to the end. No. All right. Fine. If that's what I need to do, that's what I need to do. All right. Let's do a make tests. I do find traits helpful when you're dealing with groups of functionality that you or contexts that you can group together. Sorry, say that again. I find traits useful when there are contexts that you can identify in a class that you can group together in a trait. Okay, so that's now in sync. It's weird that was having that problem. Okay, now it's running all the tests. That's fine. We'll just let that go. Let's come out of this. Let's do a git status again. All right, git commit. Well, we're gonna. I'll do that one first. Let's just do adding redirect and migration. What? Oh, it's... sorry. Feature. There we go. We'll let the pipeline take care of that. Although... why is that red? Why is that red? Why do I have a question mark on the end of that? Have I not added that? I thought I did a AM. Git add, sorry. Ugh. I'm looking for a way to redo that git commit message. That might be it. The amend. Just double check. Oh, it's amend and then M. Navigate to, oh, okay. How to change git commit messages. Git commit amend command allows you to change the most recent commit message. If you haven't pushed the commit, to change the message of the most recent commit that hasn't been pushed to the remote repository, use the amend flag, run the following. We are amending it with a message. The M option allows you to write a new message on the command line without opening the editor. Okay, that's fine. Is there a short command, a short argument for that? A, maybe. No, that's add. Squash. We're looking for amend. I could have just grabbed this. Allow, white space, amend. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Stop screwing around. Git commit. There we go. Okay, let's have a look at the old pipeline. Oh, I need to set it off as a pull request first, don't I? Yes. Cool. So the pipelines grab that. There we go. The other one we did was the integration tester job. We can merge that in because the pipelines accepted that. Sweet. Okay, so we're cooking on gas here. We've done this one, and we've finished this one. Cool. So that leaves us with a sort of a clean slate, I suppose. I mean, we've got these two bugs, but I'm not interested in fixing them at the moment. I wouldn't mind tackling something new. So we got, this is something that's ongoing, so I won't worry about that at the moment, because I'm kind of like that's going to take a long time to deal with. I'm tearing up and tearing down servers dealing with that. The FAQ page is quite a nice little isolated chunk of work. Essentially it's just questions and answers. Got some CMS requirements and some front-end requirements here. And then we've got new things coming into the next sprint, which is the payment page, the billing list, the account dashboard, the billing dashboard. And then we've got this bit here, which is going to be useful. This is, maybe we should do this. So this is to create a script that lists all tutorials that don't have a premium video. This will allow me to know which ones I need to upload to the premium hosting. So it's actually super useful. However, I'm not sure it needs to be a script. Might just need to be a list, like in the CMS. Let's have a look. Give me a second whilst I log in. Let's bring that down here. We're not doing any automated testing at all at the moment, are we? Yeah, we are. Let's just kill that. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to fight with the database being rebuilt every 5 seconds. Let me rebuild that again. Cool. Okay. So, whoops. Come on. Yeah. That's it. Right. In the other stream here, I'm just logging into the content management system on the local site. Do. What's going on? Is it because I'm logged in up here? It is. Right, let's try it again. Okay, right. So if we go to courses, there we go. There we go. Right here, we got the courses. I'm thinking we just need to have like a column, maybe in this table, which just says, what should it say? Let's bring that over to here. Which just says, it doesn't have a premium account, like maybe even a red and green. We've got active here, so we could just have red and green, like yes and no. So it has I don't know, yeah, because all of the videos need to have a premium video, because when you're a premium user, you have the ability to watch all the free videos without any adverts. So all the free, what I'm saying is all the free videos need to be uploaded to the premium hosting, video hosting provider that I'm using. And yeah, and we need to record that. And that's done via, like, let's have a look at this one, for instance, PHP array. Here we go. So it's the external URL. I know this looks really shockingly bad. This content management system, it doesn't look great, but it's this URL here. So if there isn't a URL in here, then we need to list that in here. That's essentially what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. So if I was to think about how to do that technically, we could create a method on the course to say has premium video, true or false, on the actual entity. So in course entity here. Well, hang on a minute. We have this. Actually, that's external URL. No. Actually, this is a little bit more trickier than this, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. See, I'm using traits, but it's only because these traits can be grouped, like they have their individual contexts. I'm looking for. Is it? It's not. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's not learning outcomes. It's not too. It's a tutorial. Yeah, this is going to be more difficult than I thought because the videos, you've got a course, and then in the course you have many tutorials. That's right. Yeah, so it's actually on the tutorial entity. So you got slug, locked, content, transcript. I see free video URL and premium video URL. Okay, but we want to do this from the course level. So in the CMS, we want to have a column to say true or yes or no, has premium video or is ready for premium accounts. Something like that. And we need to go over each one of the tutorials and see and ensure that there is a premium video URL set up for each one. So yeah, I guess we do need to have a method on here. Maybe yeah. I'm going to go and grab a cup of tea and then I'll have a think. Well, I'll have a think whilst I'm getting a cup of tea, but I'll be back. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. Right, I'm going to grab a cup of tea. I will be back very shortly. Well, my Amazon parcel hasn't arrived. Oops. My Amazon parcel hasn't arrived, which is annoying. I want to play with my new keyboard. God damn it. I got a cup of tea. This is, well, it's not tea. It is tea. It's peppermint tea. It's licorice and peppermint. Yeah. I have had a thought about this. I think because on the CMS we also have a list of tutorials, and because this is a tutorial thing, not really a, well, it is a course thing, but we could just put it here. I think that's probably wise. And it means that we don't have to write any other extra code, because what we can do in the templates, in where are we? CMS, in the tutorial, in the index, we can just have something in here which creates a column. Yeah. Hey, LeGray Chuck, thank you very much for following today. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well, sir. I don't know if you're a sir. Apologies. I hope you're doing well. Right, so yes, what I'm going to do is create a column in here. Whoops. Which is has premium video. Okay. And just get rid of that for a minute on the left hand side, makes a bit of room so I can see what I'm doing. It is after the title, so it's this one. We want to do a TD, and we need to obviously keep the Tailwind classes going on. There we go. So do a little bit of twig here. We essentially want to have a yes or a no. So like that, for instance, right? So if we were to refresh the page, that should have a column of yes. Right. Okay. I've decided I don't want this by the title. I want it by active. So it is before the actions, so this thing here. Is it before active or after active? After active. Yeah, here. Okay. So we need to have that as the center too. This we're going to use as the example, and this is going to be, I don't know why my auto completion isn't working. So annoying. It should be premium video URL, but I just want to double check that. If we go to entity and then tutorial, yeah, this one. Can't remember how to do that. Is null or something? Is null? Does that work? Is empty? Does that work? Let me see in the old Google's twig. Check if empty. Yeah, it is empty. There we go. I thought it was. It is empty. So if it is empty, then it's no. If it isn't empty, then it's yes. Okay. So let's go back to here. Refresh. That should pop over to here now. There we go. Right. So all my test data doesn't have a premium video. So let's see if we can edit one of these. That's the free video. I'm going to just copy that into here. There we go. Update. There we go. That's yes. Okay, I want to make this a little bit more dramatic. So let's create... Let's copy this over. Essentially, it is this. And we need to flip this. So this is red and this is green. Refresh. They're all green. Why are they all green? Oh, because I'm using active. Lol. So they should all be red and no, apart from that one. All right, let's get into it. That's pretty much the feature, to be fair. I just want to have a means of working out whether I actually have a premium video URL, because I'll be using that like a things to do list. It'll be like, you know, these are the videos that I'm yet to upload. There's a bug here. There we go. No. So there is a bug. If I go to edit in the edit thing, I've just noticed that the content TinyMCE has a little bit of a freak. Yeah, not found, not found, not found. Fix one bug, find another one. Why am I still on session redirect? Right, okay. Git stash save. Don't know why I'm on session redirect. Let's git checkout. Git pull. Git checkout -b feature, and this is premium URL col git stash apply merge conflict. Oh, that's annoying. Conflict is in here, I think. I'm going to accept mine. No, I'm not. Let's have a look. Let's just see what's going on. Oh, it's because I've changed the... Okay. It's the IDs. The IDs have changed. Fine. Yeah, I'm going to accept mine. I'll run the make tests again. This is the one I'm interested in. Yes, it's good. Okay, that's good. Git. Okay, here we go. Git status. Git commit -am. Adding column. Git push. Feature premium. URL call. Good-o. Right, let's have a look at the actions up here. Let's go to where are we with this? Actions are, that's merged in. Sweet. Let's go to the pull requests. Okay, so that's the one we did before. Let's create a pull request for this one. We're smashing through these, which is nice. This was supposed to be a relaxed, chilled out stream, but we've actually done a lot of work, which is nice. And this one here that we've just done is a Q2 jobby. So it's not even a hang on a minute. Whoa. Why hasn't my... Is that still... Yeah. I thought so. It's still going through its motions. Is that right? If we go to the actions... No? Have I not? Why isn't that picking? Why isn't the actions picking that up? Let's deal with this one. That's been ticked. So we can merge that into here. Confirm. But it's this one that we've just done. Here we go. No, okay, no conflicts with the branch. Don't understand why that's not. Okay, fine. We'll just do a merge. That's all good. I mean, it should push up two of these. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's good. So that was this one, where we didn't actually create a script for it. We just created a column for it. Why make more work than is needed? Okay, so we got loads, did loads. This one here is the Ansible jobby. I won't be playing with that today. This one is the FAQ job. That's quite a nice one to do. Then we've got the billing. We've got the account dashboard. What's on the account dashboard? Add a billing link to the account menu. Show current billed amount in the dashboard. Show button link to update payment method. And show button to show all bills. That's quite a beefy one. Update payment method page. Bills list. Billing list. Create a page for the list. Create a table with a bill for each row. Of each row is a bill. Okay. Each row should have a bill date, amount, and status. Each row should have a button to download the invoice in PDF. Wow. Table should be in bill date order. Page requires pagination. It's a big old piece of work, that one. Thing is, the FAQ page isn't a requirement. It's not like if I was to look at Q2 as an MVP, that's why I put it in Q3. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This one's ongoing. This will probably go on through Q2 just because I'm having problems with my Ansible stuff at the moment. Then we've got... Not going to do that one because that's Q3. I need Stripe Fix for that to work. And I guess I could do that, but this is going to link off to the payment methods page plus the billing list. So I kind of need to get this billing list done before I look at those two. Is there anything I can scale back in this? Because that's quite a chunk of change, that one. Create a page for the list. Fine. Pretty straightforward. Create a table with a bill for each row. Each row should have a bill date, amount, and status. Each row should have a button to download the invoice in PDF. Okay, so before any of that happens, I actually need to have a database table for these to hang from. And really they should be called order rather than bill. The bill is the thing that you get from the order that was made. But order is a reserved word in MySQL, so maybe we should call it order summary. And then off of the back of that, you could have order items. That kind of works. And then you would have an invoice off of the bill, off of the order summary that contains your... So the order summary would have your order ID. It would have a collection of order items. Hang on a minute. I'm overcomplicating this. What order items? It's a subscription. It's not a... You don't buy more than one thing. It's a subscription. It's a subscription-based service, so it's not... So you're not buying products. You can tell I work in doing a lot of e-commerce work at the moment. Yeah, so with that being said, but it's still an order, but there's no order items. subscription payment. Maybe it should just be called payment, because then you have a payment date. Why do I think that whatever I choose, I am going to change next week? Cardinality. Not sure that'll fit. I think payment. You have a payment date. You have a payment plan, which is your subscription. Yeah, I'm going to call it payment. All right, let's do this. No. That's why I said it didn't fit. No. Nah, this is so this is for a subscription site, How to Code Well. The next Q2, quarter 2 of this year, we're going to be building out the subscription side of it. Hence why I need to have those premium video URLs done, so I have something to offer people. But I haven't yet scoped out how to do this in the database. So this is kind of like my first thought of this, I guess. I reckon it's going to be payment. Let's create a unit test. Why not? Let's start with that. Let's start with a unit test for the entities. Let's throw something dirty together, shall we? Just throw it together. So we're going to call this payment test. Now I'm starting to doubt myself. The thing is, payment. Does payment imply that a payment has been made? Or could you have a status on the payment to say required, paid? No, payment doesn't imply that a payment has been made. Because, the sentence, I want to make payment. Yeah, okay. I think I'm overthinking it. Which is probably what I'll do. Let's get rid of all this rubbish. Don't need any of that. Let's just try and map this out. And I need to... I'm going to just change the music for a minute. Oh, that sounds a bit ominous. Right, so I think what I'm going to do, well, before I go any further, let's do that. Okay, so public function test, payment default. So what should be the default on a payment entity? Let's create a payment class. We're going to instantiate this to a payment class that doesn't exist. And then we're going to do self assert false payment has paid. So this is like the default stuff. Is there anything else? Overdue. That should be false by default. Okay. What were the groupings here? Entity package. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Oop, just noticed the pop filter was falling off. Okay, payment is we instantiate a new payment, and by default, has paid is false, and is overdue is false, because the class hasn't been set up yet. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. All right, let's do a let's get into the container. Let's do a bin code set run unit -g, and what did I call it? Let's do that. So we're going to need to create our class in src entity. Not a no. It's not a folder, is it? Silly. It's yeah, I think we're going to need these. Okay, so private has paid is equal to false. Is overdue. Lol. I don't know. Maybe this isn't the right thing to do. I don't know. has paid. That doesn't make sense, does it? Anyway, these should pass now. If we went to here and then had a look at the timestampable traits, we've got updated, created. We need another one, don't we? We need paid date. And this needs to be null by default. Yep. Okay, so now let's go and we need we also need cost. We need like amount, like total. Hang on a minute. I'm not happy with this. I am not happy with payment. No. No, I'm not happy with this. It needs to be... No. No, it's not... That's not... No. No, no. I'm going to call it order. I'm going to call it order summary. I'm going to go back to what I thought it was. And order summary will have a payment attached to it, and a required payment method. It's gonna fail. Yeah, it just it didn't feel comfortable. Whoops. Have I not? I haven't actually changed the class name, have I? Whoops. Okay, so back to where we are. Here we go. Now we got get total. So this should be zero. Of course. Okay, so I think that sets that up. False, 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 null, same. Has paid, is overdue, get paid date, get total. I think I'm gonna also have. So we've got created date. That's fine. I was gonna have order placed, but that's fine. Created date's good. Okay. What other entities hang off of this? Customer. Well, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Maybe we should, instead of doing that, whoops. Yeah, instead of doing this, maybe we need to do. Yeah, let's do the. Yeah, let's do. I'm just gonna try and think. I really need to write this down. Like I need a whiteboard. Is it going to be the user or the Stripe customer? I think it will be the user. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also we need, we've got the, I'm just going to riff for a minute. I'm just going to, so we've got, let's say we've got a course. And that course has a package. So package is equal to new. Package bear with me a minute, I'll be back. Sorry about that. Okay, so we've got a package. I'm just trying to work out in my head how this all hangs together. So, okay, so we've got a package. We set the subscription plan to be subscription plan. Don't know why that was mixed. Why was that mixed? Why have I done that? Anyway, yeah, so that's the package is monthly, and set the frequency. We set the price, which is a price object. I'm probably going to change a lot of this in this sort of bit of code to be in this sprint, I reckon, in this quarter or the next one. Let's do 5. Okay, so we've got the subscription frequency, which is monthly. We get the price, which is 5. Then we've got a subscription plan, which sets them together. We have a package that we put in the subscription plan into the package. And then we add the package to the course. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now what we need to do is with the order, we need to set the subscription plan, I think. This is where it gets tricky, because what about, like, I can't see any kind of need for me to have more than one thing in an order, because it's just a subscription. I'm not selling any goods, it's just a subscription. So I don't think there's any order items. But I think if I was to go down the route of just having like a one item thing, it would be painful in the future to move them to multiple items. And I'm just thinking, like, for future proofing this, maybe we have like add item, and the item that we add is a course, and then there's some form of pattern that knows that a course will have a package. No. No, it's a package. You're adding a package. Because the package has... Is it that? Or is it this subscription? I wonder if it's the subscription plan that we add. Because then once we've got that, we've got the price. So if that was some form of order item interface, it would require a price. I think I'm gonna have a think about this because it's quite I think I've opened up a door into a big rabbit hole. The thing is, if I was to put in the subscription plan, there's no knowledge of the course, and I'm just thinking like from the invoices point of view. Don't know. I think I'm going to. Well, gosh, it's 18:15. I've just realised. I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna make a move. I think. And think about this. It's quite a lot to think about. Cool. Right. Thank you ever so much for watching and bearing with me through this. I'm sure it will look very different when I stream again. Thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding, everyone. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next week on Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. GMT. Well, no, we've changed, haven't we? We're now in BST. We're an hour ahead. Because that's what we do. No wonder I'm tired. Thank you ever so much. Happy coding, everyone. See you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.